Why do some people not feel as though they fit in life? Where do they fit in? Are they some sort of an odd duck? How do other people view them? Should they even worry about fitting in? Are they the only ones that feel like this? What is fitting in? Is it even necessary? Have we just made too much of this fitting in business? Some of us have tried hard and we keep trying. Others can get to the point where in life they feel like they've tried so hard and they've come up empty to the point where they just kind of give up and resign to the fact that maybe relationships and finding a group to call theirs is just too much work or maybe not even worth it. Belonging, being accepted, finding a place or a group where we can be valued and we can value others is not only a healthy desire, but I believe that it's a necessary component to a thriving life. We were not made to be an island, but what in the world does this look like? Before we unpack that, if you've been watching some of my videos, thank you. If the videos have been helpful for you, maybe consider giving them a like, a subscribe, share them, or even leave a comment. It really helps me out a lot. Also, jump over to my website, awordtothewise.co, where you can download a free resource from me. The link is down in the description. Now back to belonging. We were made to interact with others. It's in our DNA. We can bury that, but it's still there. We can lean toward perhaps an introvert nature, but it's still there. Some may have encouraged us, hey, you've just got to keep trying and keep taking a leap out of your comfort zone. Does that simple formula always do the trick? Belonging is a healthy part of life, but this idea of fitting in and what that means to us can add some complexities to the whole topic. First, let's look at some general observations about fitting in, and then I'll offer a couple of thoughts about tackling our journey to fit in. I really don't want to oversimplify this. I know that the idea of belonging and fitting in can be very painful for some who've struggled to find a place in society where they fit. Some have even gone to the extreme where they either subconsciously or consciously categorize themselves as some sort of a maybe social outcast. If we're in that place, the messages that we tell ourselves can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So as I mentioned, I don't want to oversimplify this, but I think there are some general observations that might be helpful. First, let me say that you may not be as much of an odd duck or not fitting in as you think. It's amazing how much we can make up things in our own minds and our own heads that we believe other people are thinking about us that they've never thought about us. I hate to break it to you, but for the most part, people are not thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves. We can spend a lot of energy worrying about and processing different concerns about the negative thoughts that we think others are having about us, when in reality, most, if not all, of those thoughts have never crossed their mind. Second, we can become very focused on fitting into a particular group of people that we may consider desirable or admirable or some target group to fit into. What if those aren't even your people? Maybe we're after the wrong type of people and the ones that we've set our sights on are just very different from us or not a good fit, even though for some reason we hold them in high regard or as the standard that we're after. Also, keep in mind that belonging may only mean to a small group or a select group of people. Fitting in doesn't have to involve large groups of people or the general public. Third, if fitting in depends on approval and affirmation from others in every situation, then is fitting in really healthy? If you must be affirmed in all your choices and beliefs to feel that you fit in, then perhaps you have an unrealistic view of fitting in. In a similar way, sometimes we can have unrealistic expectations that others will understand us. Even in a place of belonging, there are idiosyncrasies that all of us have that we may not even understand about ourselves. It's a bit of an undue pressure on someone else to expect others to understand us so that we can feel as though we fit, especially when we don't even completely understand ourselves. Just saying. Now let's talk a bit about taking some steps towards breaking through this. Let me start by saying yes, there can be benefits to pushing out of your comfort zone, to put yourself into environments where you're forced into interactions. But simply pushing yourself is often kind of a narrow solution. I think we need to tackle a couple of additional things in conjunction with that. Let me go over these very quickly. Number one, whether or not we like to admit it, we can be quite prone to believing lies, especially about ourselves. You have to examine the lies you've believed about yourself. Feelings of rejection or times when others have mistreated us can leave a mark of negative lies about ourselves. Take an honest look at what you've believed about yourself and begin to reject the lies and replace them with truth. Number two, another area we need to be honest with ourselves is to work toward freedom from self fulfilling prophecies that we may have slipped into. Allow me to explain. If because of these feelings of not fitting in, we've developed patterns of holding people at a distance, maybe putting up defensive walls, maybe even coming across with somewhat of a victim mindset or even some degree of social awkwardness, we need to be willing to come to terms with that and be open to address it. If we approach an interaction with someone with an assumption that we won't fit in and act, very guarded, that tone will come across in that meeting. I understand that some of us, have developed these walls from very deep rejection or other things that were done toward us, but we're still the ones that are responsible for how we interact with others. This isn't being harsh. This is being honest with a heart to help so you don't stay stuck. I'm not saying it's easy, but it is true. Yes, you may be different. Yes, you may have some characteristics that are different than others. Yes, you may be unique in your mannerisms. That's not necessarily a flaw. You can be different, but look for bridges to bring your uniqueness and mix it with the personalities of others and find some connection. This is not conformity. It's not just you being a chameleon just to fit in. It's a matter of you confidently addressing ways of thinking and patterns that have been developed in you in a way that you relate to others so that you can bring your best you. It's about you recognizing lies that you've believed about yourself regarding relationships, removing barriers, and being a confident person of belonging. Thanks for joining me today for A Word to the Wise. My name is Doug Ebertowski. If this has been helpful for you, maybe consider subscribing, liking, sharing, or even leaving a comment on this video. Also, visit me over on my website, awordtothewise.co.co, where you can download a free resource from me. Last but not least, maybe consider checking out some of my other videos. Until next time, be wise.